And we are back from our break, and ready to do a little bit of sneaky stuff, I believe. Is that
Snooping.
the case?
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we're sneakily getting cones. No. Carry on.
All right, so Solas will cast Fly, pardon me, on Lafdul, and Leva will...
Question.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's still happening. Sorry.
Yep.
I was just curious to know. Does speak with animals work with on Finn when he's an animal form? Just out of curiosity, could I roll spellcraft? I know this or not.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably. I don't
Right up
It
until I
just
change forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume I would just be. I took it just in case. You never know if it was useful.
I'll at least let it work for now, and I'll think about it more later. But probably because he's in an animal form. That seems reasonable.
And it's not a temperament; it's a true animal form, isn't it? With a druid.
I mean, it's a shape
It's like
change as
shape.
opposed to polymorph,
Yeah, and you can main. Well, yeah.
and he can maintain it forever. Like a druid could turn into a rat and live as a rat for the rest of his natural human lifespan.
God, it's a very old rat.
Would be a very old rat.
I've seen a druid get themselves turned into a bear and get stuck that way for a very, very long time.
Do druids have slow aging in this?
Yes.
At a certain age.
And even though
Level, I think.
this isn't hasn't come up in second edition at least, uh, if you got polymorphed, Finn, you can shape change out of that. So you can keep that in mind. Like if
What
someone
about
casts
if-
polymorph other on you, you can shape change out of that and return to your normal form.
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
I suppose the same would apply to me when I get mine, but
Mm-hmm.
16th level?
Something like that. Little ways
Just
off.
A long way off.
Little ways off. All right, so Leva is casting. Yeah. All right, so that does work on you. Invisibility.
I'm gonna say I'm going without my armor.
Okay.
Going fairly light. I've got my pouch. I don't have my backpack. I'm going like light.
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe a weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of weapons. No shield. Other than what's in my pouch.
All right, so you're. What time did you want to do this? Did you want to do this during the menagerie, like during operation hours, or did you want to wait until they close?
I suppose during operation hours, because they'll be busy, concentrated on them.
Okay.
Unless Finn thinks it's better elsewise.
No, probably when they're busy is best.
And I will make myself look like a hobgoblin, just in case.
Okay. All right, so you fly, get up to the palisade, and you can go from there. Did you want to drop Finn off and have him do his own thing, or is Finn going to accompany you?
Did Finn give me an indication of what he wants to do? Because I assume
He would have.
actually
He
won't be
would have. So you can talk about that right now.
because obviously you can't see anything. You'll literally just like, unless I unveil you very subtly occasionally,
Yeah.
you can
Just
look around.
for right now, just fly around, see what you can see, and let me know. And then you can land and let me off somewhere. I can slip under a crack or something like that.
Yeah, and Finn can easily respond to you with yes or no's kind of thing. I mean, he can understand you without speak to animals. So you can talk to him. He can understand. He can give you some kind of signal, yes or no, and I'm fine with that. I don't even need to.
Yeah,
know
I
what
can give
that
him
is.
closed questions on.
Yeah.
All right, no, at the moment I'm just flying around, looking around, seeing what I can see, like up close,
Okay.
within reason.
So you're seeing the same things that Finn saw the previous day. Is there anything in particular that you want to try and get more information about? Is there anything that you want to look at more?
Gates. I want to know how they're constructed, how weak they are,
The gates?
if they have any. Yeah, the gates.
Which ones?
Because you said there was 2 gates, weren't there? The main one that everyone's coming through.
Yeah.
And there was also the off limits, the menagerie members only ones.
Yeah, in the back. Again, those are 20-foot high doors, and they're pretty sturdily constructed.
What are their hinges?
They're metal, as far as you can tell.
Oh, they're actual fixtures.
Yeah. Now, you'd guess that either these are
easily-
gates that they take with them, because they're flat as boards. They'd fold. They'd store pretty easily. Or they were made here and they keep the fixtures with them and just nail them in and stuff like that.
All right. What's the patrols look like? I mean, just to get an idea of like patrols he's walking around. What's the average capacity of the guards?
It looks like they generally work in pairs, and you're seeing groups of 2 hobgoblins and groups of 2 Fomorians that are clearly like patrolling the outer edges and stuff like that, and
On the
keeping an eye
outside
on this
or
stuff.
inside?
Inside.
Is there anything looking on the outside, like a watchtower?
There are a few watch points. It looks like they've got hobgoblins in those.
Like they have like a inside built like stairway up to like the top of a palisade so you can look over or something.
Yeah, just like a little ladder up to a platform where someone is standing.
All right, then I will go around to look around to the cargo ships and the wasps and the yoga. Just
All right, it looks
see
like the
how busy-
wasps have been modified to enhance their cargo capacity. So they're wider and they can definitely carry more. You're not sure how that affects them otherwise. But they're definitely designed to be able to carry more stuff. And it looks like they are not big enough for giants. It definitely looks like the giants are probably either stay on the cargo barges or in the mammoth when it is moving around.
There's a wasp abandoned, so to speak, at the moment. It looks abandoned or emptied out currently.
There is a Herwady, whether they're guarding or just like there for maintenance purposes, you're not sure, but there is a Herwady on each one.
What can I get a close look to see what they're doing?
They appear to mostly be standing around.
Are they just walking to place, just lounging about?
They're on top of the.
Are they doing like maintenance work or something? Probably.
Now that you're looking at them, doesn't look like it. Although they could just be on a break.
Because I've been on a wasp before. Obviously, it was our first ship.
Mm-hmm.
Do I remember the layout enough to know whether or not it's all on one level?
It's not. The helm is below the gravity plane in the front, and the main level is above the gravity plane in the back.
How hard would it be for me to get inside, or is the entrance inside sealed, so to speak, barred?
So the forward open deck has a hatchway that leads into the helm room and a doorway that leads into the main deck. And exactly what's inside you don't know, because given the fact that they've made it bigger to hold more stuff, that definitely is going to change the interior layout. Let me actually see if I have a handout with a wasp on it.
The thought has crossed my mind to see if I could let Finn have a snoop around, depending on how hard it is to...
So remember, this is a wasp.
Yeah.
No, it's going to mess up on the thing. There we go. So,
Is there any place where a snake could be inserted into if I were to? That could get into the interior.
Some of that's going to depend on how they've got it, because they've got hatches. Like how tightly those are kind of set up is going to determine a lot of things. Like a snake might be able to slither through the cracks around the doors, but you're not really sure. Like without getting close, and getting close would mean that you'd be close to the Herwadi. Now the Herwadi are standing on the foredeck, the open foredeck, not up by the ballista.
It's so hard to mentalize this.
Well, you got the handout, right?
I got the picture of the wasp, yeah.
Yeah. So the foredeck is the forward portion where right above where the round red windows are. That's where the Herwadi is. They're not up on the top where the ballista is.
Is that red crystal? Can I see through that, like glass or something?
Yeah, it's empty inside, but you can see a helm in there.
Okay, any details about the helm? If I had to scrutinize it a little. Does it look like a serious helm that could be powered by Herwadi? Do I know enough about that or not?
You don't really know enough about that.
All right. I'll very subtly see if I can like hide Finn just enough so he can like look at. Obviously, I do want to. My plan is to let Finn look inside the helm room, but obviously I want to try and do it when the Hoati's looking on the other side. I mean, it's just gonna be a tiny little snakehead that's just gonna appear out of thin air very briefly, so you can just look in. I will obviously be whispering this.
You can try it.
Yeah.
All right, give me a dexterity check.
So one thing I'm good at. Don't fail me now.
Okay.
So Finn can have a look. Just because I might miss something.
So you do not bump into the glass when you're doing this, at least.
Well, I assume flying's relatively easy.
It is, but it's also not perfect, so...
Yeah, alright. Something has
But yeah, I mean, you can see the helm, but you can't tell from here what type of helm it is.
I give him like 20 seconds or something, 20, 30 seconds to see if he can just look around. See if he can memorize anything.
Alright.
Then I cover him back up. Obviously, when I'm further away from the Hoati to not hear me, then obviously I whisper what I learned about the wasp.
Okay.
And I say I'm going to look over at the cargo barges.
Okay. There is a little cabin on it, big enough to hold a helm. But they're pretty secure. There's a door in, and just tiny windows that don't really offer much ease of view inside. They're really only big enough to hold a person sitting on a helm. And you can't easily tell from looking inside whether there's a helm inside, because it's... the angle's bad, and it's dark. There's no light inside.
Doesn't my infravision kick in if I try to, like, block out the rest of the site?
Yeah, but again, the angle's bad, and the whole chamber is the same temperature, essentially.
Yeah. Could Finn fit through one of those holes?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, and I'll let you see if you can find a spot. Okay, yeah, you found a spot that he could slither in through.
I obviously whisper to. Actually, before I even do this, can I hear anything other than him?
Nothing from inside the little cabin.
What do they see around it? Do they see any crew around it?
No one immediately in your vicinity.
All right, and then obviously I indicate to Finn what my intention is. Either, obviously, if you want to do this, you can obviously go in off my hands. I'll wait here, just hovering. You can
Yeah, Finn
go
will
in
go
and
in.
have a look.
Okay. All right, Finn, you slither in. It is very dark, but you can get a much better view inside than through the tiny windows.
He's got an iron stem. Would that morph with him?
I don't think it would continue to give its effects.
No. Yes. I'm not even sure how a polymorphed creature would retain information if it had natural information.
But
Animals tend to have better vision at night
Yeah.
than humans.
Since I'm a snake at the moment, do I taste anything on the air?
Nothing recent.
Okay.
Nothing recent. Inside the chamber, it looks like this place is just used for storage. You do not see a helm in here now that you're inside.
Okay. I'll head back out then.
Yeah, I'm just floating. Yeah, sort of just waiting till I randomly see a snake. No, obviously.
You better hope it's the right one.
Well, I hope so.
I wonder
Finn,
if Rattle
Finn,
can
I
tell
didn't-
snakes apart.
Finn, I didn't remember you having these diamond patterns on you. Here, come on, get on my arm. Ow! What are you doing?
Yeah, the one day I don't memorize neutralize poison.
And then he falls over while foaming at the mouth.
So that was just the first of the 4 cargo barges.
How long do I think it's been?
It's probably been between 20 and 30 minutes.
I got some time. I'll obviously take Finn, can seal him back up again, and I'll say I'm going to go over to the next cargo barge.
Okay.
We'll try and repeat the process.
All right. Do you want to do the process with the other 3, provided that they appear to be the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much time am I going for each time I do this? About 10 minutes? Or
10 minutes.
less?
10 minutes each.
Yeah. 30 more minutes. How long did Solas say my 1 hour plus 1d6 turns, yeah?
Let
Something like
us
that.
find out.
It was 1 turn per level plus 1d6 turns.
On your 8th level, so yeah.
9th level.
Oh, 9th level. So at
Yeah,
least
so
like an
it's-
hour and a half on the minimum.
Yeah,
or
hour and a
40.
half and about 2.5.
Okay. So you'll have to let me know when you want to stop flying if you don't want to risk falling.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll take you'll use up a full hour, give or take, looking at these other 3, and they do all appear to be in the same, essentially the same as each other. The little cabins are used for storage. You do not find helms in any of them.
Is there any indication of animal feed, etc.?
These little cabins are too small for that.
They're just
And
places of interment.
well, no. So they would be a cabin where if you were going to pilot a cargo barge on its own,
sorry.
this is where
Yeah.
you'd put the helm.
Alright.
If there isn't a helm on board, i.e. it's towed, then this is where you would just put other stuff, small stuff that you don't want rolling around or whatever. You just use it as extra storage.
All right.
And the cargo barges are flat. You can see the slots for siding. The siding is not up, and they're completely empty. So you would realize you'd guess that they've taken everything off, and when they're packing up, then all the stuff goes back on. Whatever is going to go back on them. You can see that on one of them it has some pretty deep scrapes from some pretty big claws.
I see. I try to show that to Finn if and see if you can put 2 and 2 together to see what kind of animal that is. Obviously, I'll indicate what I'm seeing, and I'll show Finn because this is a particular interest.
If you have a yes or no question, you could ask him.
No, what I say to Finn, then I just say, can you look at the claw marks? Obviously, a creature's been in here, and just try to memorize the claw marks because we figure out what animal's being stored in here. It could be the tiger, it could be. It's not anything.
No, not inside one of the cabins. On the cargo barge itself, on the deck plating.
How big are the claw marks? Are these like
big?
Bigger than a tiger?
Oh yes.
Alright, these are like gigantuan, like. Alright. So it's a good indication that the megafauna is being kept here.
Yeah, you could come to that conclusion.
When I can get close to those claw marks, is there any crew around? Any kind of observation my way?
No.
And I will just show Finn. Obviously, I'm indicating what I'm looking at, and then obviously show him.
All right.
Then he can see it. Once I think that he's looked around for enough, then obviously I'm gonna say that I'm gonna fly around the mammoth while I've still got time.
Okay.
Unless he wants to go off, I will cast telepathy on him at this point.
All right, you two can converse freely then.
Was I able to determine what creature left those marks?
You can come to a conclusion as a player for your character.
It was probably little one.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I mean, if Lafdul could figure this out, I mean, you should. Alright, then, obviously, unless you want to look in more detail there, I mean, do you want to have a look around in there while I can wait another 10 minutes while telepathy's up, but it's only got a 30-yard range.
I don't see that there's going to be much there that'll tell us anything, so.
That, whatever they're using to sedate him might be there.
True.
See if you can see any foodstuffs or something.
Well, I'm assuming that you've gone into each of the cabins.
Mm-hmm. Did I find anything like that?
No, they're basically empty.
Okay.
Alright, and did you want to look at any of the ships? Because otherwise I'm just going to go around and look at the mammoth ship.
Yeah, let's go get a closer look at that.
Alright, and as I'm going around the mammoth ship, I'm describing to Finn what I'm seeing the best I can.
Okay.
Like how many weapon turrets, to a certain extent, obviously they're firing arcs, obviously I'm looking a lot closer.
Yeah, so there are 4 ballista and 4 catapults. The catapults are primarily aiming towards the sides and rear, and the ballistas are forward and sides. There does appear to be a jettison in the back.
Yeah.
Now that you're close.
Is there any windows or openings I can observe the interior around the helm room if I were to guess where the helm room is if I look around?
You cannot see the helm room. There are some small observation ports in the front. It's very hard to see inside because it is dark inside. And there are guards on top of the ship. There are 2 Fomorians up on the top with the weapons. However, each of the weapons has its own access point into the ship. You also saw a pair of large cargo doors on the underside hull that you would realize would lead into at least a cargo hold. Whether it's the entire cargo hold or not, you're not sure. And there are a few windows along the sides, but they are difficult to see into because the rooms are dark inside. You can see like the vague outlines of some furniture and stuff like that.
Is there any, if I could identify, you say furniture, is there any indication of like sleeping arrangements? Any of them might look like officers' quarters or anything?
When you say
You'd get there are two that you'd guess are individual officer quarters, and then the other ones hold more than one person.
windows, or do you mean closed windows?
They're like portals.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how common sea glass, fairing glasses back then. Or...
No, I was just wondering if it was something a snake could sneak through.
No, those are all closed. You could easily get Finn in through one of the top deck entries, because there's a lot of them, and there's only 2 Fomorians up there. But none of the windows you can't get Finn to any of the windows.
I ask Finn, do you you have your own invisibility potions, don't you?
I do.
Do you want to scout this place out fully and make your own way out, or?
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt to know.
I mean, at this point, because the fly's going to run out at some point, I'm going to have to exculpate myself. Are you right making your own way out, or do you want me to wait around for you?
That should be fine.
I mean, even Lafdul, you could try sneaking in too. It's up to you. You are invisible.
Yeah. Alright, now we can try... It's just 2 cards at the top, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And they look pretty bored.
What are they looking at?
They're just like kind of scanning the area. You'd guess that they're mainly there to just make sure that no one comes in this way. There are, and it looks like this is like the main way into the ship, because there are heavy-duty ladders up the sides, rather than having a lower entry point. So it looks like anyone who wants to get into this ship has to climb up these ladders, get up onto the weapon platforms, and then enter that way.
Yeah, I have means of extricating myself, so I'm going to try and... I'm going to say, should we both go in? I can go in as well. I mean, if I have
That's up to you.
If obviously the fly runs out and it runs out, I mean, I can always make myself into a sprite and can make myself a silent sprite by casting silence on an item and holding it. It's down to the physical barrier of being prevented if they close the doors or something. Is there like a latch or like a closed gate or something?
They're actually all open, as far as you can tell. There might be a hatch inside.
Oh, that closes inside. Yeah, I guess we'll try and sneak our way in. Obviously, I put my Finn down in case I just didn't get the opportunity to go in, but Finn might be able to. So
okay.
I'll put you down and I'll follow you in.
It is ladders down, so it's pretty easy for Finn to slither up and down those ladders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you trying to fly in, or are you just going to land and climb in?
Quietest method.
Okay. Give me... Let's see, what is your move silent?
It's like 90. It's actually really good with Valor.
I know, and you so rarely use it.
No, I've been putting more points into move silently than hiding shadows, because obviously granted power.
Alright.
I'm just going to verify. I'm pretty sure it's 90. I'm just checking the bonus. Yeah, move silently, 75. Oh. That's 80, I think.
Okay.
I will amend it if it's close, but hang on. You can roll it.
Alright, so as you are, you very gently put your arm close to the ground, so, or the deck, so
And I put him in cover, so at the very least he
Yeah.
can look.
So Finn can slither in, and he Finn, you're gonna go in. You're gonna slither in.
Yep.
Okay.
Without armor, I'm at 85.
Okay, and I'm gonna assume that you, Lafdul, are taking a different route down, just so you don't accidentally like bump him or something like that. Because he can't see you,
telepathy on.
but he can't see you anyway.
I didn't know that Finn was a Slytherin. I always assumed he was a Hufflepuff.
I mean, again,
salty
keep in mind that
flame.
there's 8 weapons up on the top deck, and each one of those has a hatch. So there's lots of options.
I'll give him like a minute lead, and I'm going to follow in the same way.
Okay.
Obviously, because we got telepathy for at least like probably another 5 minutes or so.
As you do scrape against one of the against the ladder as you're flying down, and one of the guards says, "What? Did you hear that?" Actually, no, you wouldn't understand what he's saying. I just realized that.
He just makes a noise and looks in my direction.
Well, you can clearly see, like, you're not quite down. You just kind of like freeze as soon as you make that noise. You see one of them turn to the other and say something, and the other one's like, They're now peering more around. One of them gets up and starts looking around, but he doesn't see anything. You see him shrug and go back to the position that he was in.
Obviously, this is after I've let Finn down, or is this now after?
Finn is already in.
I mean, it's only got a 30-yard range. So telepathy should be up for at least a couple of minutes. So I'm obviously going to indicate that I'm just going to look around.
You do, after they've stopped, you're able to very carefully get in and probably stand on the deck, catch your breath, something like that, because that would have, like, you would have been holding your breath in a bit of panic right there. You find yourself inside a fairly large open chamber. Ceilings are over 10 feet high, or they're higher than you would have expected on one of your own vessels. And you can see some side passageways, or side chambers that hold ammo. You're seeing ballista bolts, catapult stones in barrels, crates, things like that, so that they're not rolling around. But they are open and visible, so they can just be grabbed without needing to open something. And you can see all the ladders leading back up to the upper deck. Otherwise, this is an open chamber. You would be able to reasonably guess that in a combat situation, this would be a muster area for Marines. And you can see a pair of ladders leading down to the deck below you.
Obviously, see, I just be quiet for a moment, see if I can hear any noise up or down. I put my ear to the floor or something. See if I can hear noise beneath me.
What is your hear noise?
Actually, not that good. Like 45, I think. It's one skill I never put too many points into.
All right, you can definitely hear the two giants up above. They seem to be talking to each other.
Yeah, it's only 45.
And you can definitely hear two creatures somewhere down below. So there's at least two more creatures of some sort. Two creatures talking. You can't make out what they're saying. You can't even make out what language it is. But there are a pair of ladders leading down. And Finn, if you want to, like, take an initiative for yourself and investigate any of these things, you can definitely speak up and say that you're doing something.
Yeah, Finn could actually lower himself just part way down the ladder and just look.
Okay. Telepathy lasts 22 minutes, so.
So Finn, you kind of just like curl your head down through the hatch to see if there's anyone down there immediately. You do not see anyone, but the ladder opens up onto a fair bit of kind of an open area with a bunch of doors leading off and 3 passageways leading off. So it's kind of not a circular, but kind of like a trapezoidal room.
I indicate to Finn while he's stir enraged, do you want to drink some of my invisibility if I just, like, open it up slightly? You're a snake, but...
He's not a big snake, though.
No,
Not right now.
Because obviously I won't get an opportunity later, and you obviously can't do it while you're a snake.
Don't worry about it.
Alright. Good luck or happy hunting, as they say.
So Finn will finish going down the ladder then.
Okay. So you can see a long passageway going straight to the aft. There are 4 doors leading off, 2 on either side. And give me an intelligence check. You're pretty sure that these doors are leading to some of the rooms with the portholes.
Okay.
And then there's 2 passageways on either side. Like the ladder that you're coming down is up against a wall, and 2 more passageways are leading off to either side around that wall, going forward. One on the port, one on the starboard.
Well, should we take a look up that way, see if we can find the helm?
Yeah.
Are you going? Are you're going down as well, Lafdul?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Finn, you do not hear. You can feel the vibration a little bit because your whole
Probably
body
smell
is up against the deck plating, but you do not hear Lafdul making any sound at all. He's being
I
very
can
careful.
see him though with my infravision now, I assume.
Oh yeah.
If it's dark, well, I don't know if it's dark in here.
It is dark in here, but also like you know exactly where he is. You know exactly where to look. But Finn, I would be assuming is like staying at the very edge of the corridor kind of thing, so he's like nestled as close into the edges and corners as he can, rather than just slithering down the open deck. So again, Lafdul, you can see the same thing. There's that corridor leading to the aft, and because you got a bit of a better angle of seeing it, you can see that there's 2 doors on either side further down there, and there's a jettison at the end.
That's also another way out of the ship. For the jettison.
Yeah.
It's not like a sealed off thing, is it?
Well, there is a hatchback there, but it would certainly be something that you could try to get out. If you felt you needed to.
Need to find where the helm's room is, but I don't know where best to...
I'm guessing going forward would be the best plan.
Okay,
yeah, we can go
just
forward.
right around the corner. Are you going starboard or port? Finn.
Starboard.
Okay. So you, after looking at these other doors, you turn your head and start slithering around the corner. You can see that the corridor quickly takes a right and gets right up against the outer hull, you'd guess. But right there on the left wall is a door. And you think that you could slither under that door. However, there's definitely some voices coming from inside there.
So looking under the door, can I see any feet or anything?
You'd probably have to stick your whole head through, but it would just be your head.
Okay.
Could I? Is that where like the primary any kind of noise is coming from?
Yeah, now you're realizing that that is where the voices are coming from. You can hear them more
How
clearly
far
now.
away is it, and how loud are they speaking?
They're speaking in a normal voice
Because
level,
they're giants,
and
it's
they're
gonna be booming
giants.
little.
They're speaking in normal voice level. You cannot understand what they're saying. You can make out that they are speaking a language that you do not know.
I am thinking about casting tongues. I indicate to Finn. I want to get a little bit further away to try and cast it quietly.
Well, they're speaking at a normal level and normal voice level, and you're outside the room. So that's definitely some advantages in your favor to not be detected.
Yeah. I will attempt to cast tongues silently. So casting tongues 7. There is only verbal and somatic components, so
Finn, have you stuck your head under the door?
you can indicate.
Yeah, I would have.
Okay. You do not notice any change in how they're acting. As right after Lafdul indicates that he's going to cast his spell. And Lafdul, you'll probably need to stick your ear up to the door just to kind of see what you can make out for ease of making it out.
My idea is to try and obviously cast tongues for that language. Obviously, eavesdrop.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, with your ear right up against the door, you can easily make out what they're saying. Also, Finn, I should note that inside here, you do see a large, giant-sized chair. Which you'd guess is the helm. It is facing forward, and you're to the rear of it. So you're seeing the back of this chair. However, you can see some large straps on the armrests of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Lafdul, it sounds like they're talking business, as in like, how much they've made. They're pretty happy with it. How much they've made. They're very excited to get to the capital of Malmratha. And one of them does use the name of the other. So one of these two is definitely Durkin.
Oh.
And I will say that you can use telepathy and indicate to Finn. Okay, the one talking right now just referred to the other one as Durkin. So Finn can recognize that the other one is Durkin. However, his back is to him, so that might be iffy. But I will give Finn a chance if it comes up. Like if you want to pick him out of a crowd of giants or something like that, Finn will have a chance of identifying the guy who actually runs this whole thing as Durkin.
Okay.
Does he have any particular boots, markings, particular color to him compared to the rest, like gold or silver, like shiny metals?
The problem is that they're both Fomorians, so they have heavily deformed bodies.
Wasn't this one the least deformed, Durkin? Or was that someone else I was thinking of?
He might have been, but it's still a case of, it's still... It's just a case that Finn will have a chance to recognize him outside of the situation. If it comes up, then you feel you need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Finn, you were also able to tell that there is a pretty big cabinet and a large chest in this room, and they're very obviously padlocked. You can also see a table with a cabinet for charts, Doesn't appear to be obviously locked in any way, probably latched, but you can't tell that for sure, just based on your experience. So there's like navigation tools and stuff like that in here as well.
So this seems like their helm's room.
It definitely is. There is also a pair of doors on the far end of the wall, leading straight forward, and a ladder against that wall that goes up, which you would be able to guess is where the two small, tiny windows up top were. So there's probably a little observation area.
Those windows, I'd ask Finn, do they look like they're sealed?
He can't see the windows. You were able to tell that they were sealed from the outside, though.
Alright.
So a large padlock chest and a large padlock cabinet.
Yep.
That's where they're keeping their money.
Seems like it.
Oh, I just want to wait around to see if they leave the room and I can go in. But obviously my fly spell that Solas cast me would have worn out, but
yeah, that fly spell is not going to be lasting much longer at all.
Yeah.
Like a matter of minutes at this point. I should also note that the ladders that you came down to get to this level continue down to the lower level as well.
Do I need verbal components to use my granted powers if I was silenced?
No. It's an act of will.
Yeah, so I can, like, for example, cast Silence 15-foot radius and obviously hold on to the item and morph myself into a sprite and fly out silently.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they go in the globe, then they're suddenly silenced, but yeah. But obviously that would be my likely method of getting myself out if I needed to.
I mean,
is there anything...
You could also, like, hang around for a little while in here and see where they go, and then sneak in there if you wanted.
Yeah, obviously I indicate to Finn that it looks like we're risking it for a biscuit. We're just going to wait this one out until they leave, or, I mean, give it like an hour, or...
It's definitely something we could do. As long as you're sure you have a way out.
Yeah, I can morph myself into a sprite and fly out.
But here's another question. What would be hanging around for to get into those...
Get into the room when they leave the room.
Okay.
Assume they're not always going to stay there for like hours and hours and hours. Well, they might be, but...
And then, if you get into the room, then what is your goal?
Take a very close look at the helm and to take a close look at those locked containers.
Okay. Because unless they're like, if they're at all full, that's a lot of stuff that might be in there, in those things. Because that's a giant-sized chest and a giant-sized cabinet.
Oh. I say to Finn... Do I actually know if my Dissension's Feast would cancel my invisibility? Probably.
You do not know. Because you haven't used it. At least not while invisible.
I say to Finn, you've got a good smell sense on you, haven't you? So you could tell me what the galley is. I could cast a spell that could make them fight and get into an argument or something next time they eat. Providing it's unguarded, at least for a little while.
Can I determine that as a sneak?
You might be able to, but you can't determine that from where you are.
Okay, so we'd have to go and find it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're invisible and quiet. I'm a snake. We can always come back here.
Can both of you give me an intelligence check, please?
Can snakes roll a d20?
Lafdul, based on what you've seen around, you think that while the menagerie is, open, while they've set up and everything like that, they have their meals within the menagerie complex as opposed to on the ship.
Yeah, on the ship. So yeah, alright.
So you would realize, I think, that if you cast it here on the whatever you find on the ship, that's probably just going to affect them next time they're traveling. And that depends on if I don't know if the duration of that would persist that long.
The effects of the spell begin 5 rounds after the food has been eaten, so I assume it lasts until it's eaten.
What's the duration say?
5 turns plus 2 turns level, but I think that's how long they're affected by the chaos.
Alright, let me go look. I don't think that it would last for perpetuity, though.
Well, food goes off, doesn't it? So.
Yeah. But even so, yeah, so I think that I would have to say that
probably a day at most.
Yeah, I don't think it would last more than a day. I don't think it would last more than a day. Because otherwise you could, just get to, go to a farm, cast it on the grain, and then wherever it ends up, just, and that seems kind of ridiculous, so...
That's such a mischievous thing to do.
I think you have to be in a bit closer proximity to the stuff.
Yeah. But even a day is still good.
Yeah. But that means that you'd have to be casting it on food that they're going to be eating soon.
Obviously, I would have indicated that to Finn. I just had a hindsight or something that are unlikely to be eating here. I'm not sure how much longer my telepathy is going to last. I've only got speak with animals, and I would be hissing to you at best.
I think your telepathy's got just a couple minutes left. And these two Fomorians seem to be in a lengthy conversation.
Are we doing a stakeout? I indicate to Finn. I am willing to wait around for a while.
We can do that.
Yeah, and I guess we wait around.
Okay.
I try to find myself a really good hiding spot.
All right. You kind of squeeze yourself into a corner in such a way that anyone walking by wouldn't step on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be easier.
Me, but who knows?
And it seems to be easier because it doesn't seem like there's much activity on the ship while the
that's why I'm willing to risk it.
Going on. Finally, about somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes after you got to this point. So your fly spell has ended, your tongue spell has ended, the telepathy has ended. They finally finish up their conversation, and they leave separately. One of them that... you know what?
Is it door
Lafdul, give me an intelligence check for this. Finn, would you try to find some way to indicate which one is which to Lafdul?
Yes.
Okay. So, Lafdul, give me an intelligence check. Alright. So, I think Finn will have been able to indicate to you which one is the guy who runs the menagerie, Durkin. So I'll give you a chance as well, if it ever comes up. Alright, so they...
that's based on the back of them.
It is, but it's all it's the like the clothing they wear is mismatched and made up of different things because
right, yeah.
basically each of their bodies is different, so there is no uniform clothing that any of them can wear.
They've had to put something together.
Yeah. But they do leave and climb up to the upper deck and, as far as you can tell, depart. Now, as they were leaving, they clearly locked the door into the helm room.
Were they saying any words as they left the door, like the indication that the door might be warded with magic? It's like a priest lock, for example. You can say a word and the door
Give me
opens.
another intelligence check. Actually, give me a spellcraft roll.
No. Well, that failed. Do I still roll?
Stick with that roll.
No. My intelligence is 14, so it failed.
Okay. And
14 or 13?
That failed spellcraft as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 13, and spellcraft's even less, like 11 or something.
All right. Then, yeah, they did, but whether they were just talking to each other or saying some words, you don't know.
Alright, if the coast looks clear, obviously I wait a minute, but no longer. Do they leave the ship entirely?
As far as you can tell, they went up, and you think they may have left, but this ship has extremely thick hull walls.
Just ticking off the spells I've cast.
Finn's gonna slip under the door.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
want
you easily
to
can do
cast
that.
Speak with Animals just before he does that. I'll try anyway.
I mean, you'd be able to see him start to slip, and you could like tap him.
Yeah.
To indicate a wait.
Alright, now I'll cast Speak with Animals on him.
Okay.
It's not going to last too long, and I'm obviously whispering like a snake now.
Okay.
It's not a loud noise anyway, so it's nice and easy.
Did you have anything in particular you wanted to say to him first?
No, just in case, obviously, I ask him, Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, I've cast a spell. It's here nor there. Obviously, I cast Detect Magic afterwards. Yeah, I'm casting spells, so it's risky. Yeah.
Okay. You're not detecting any magic from the door.
Alright, then I try to pick the door.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Finn's going under the door.
Yeah, it's convenient for some.
All right, give me a 1d10, please.
Who's that to?
To you. You, Lafdul.
Me.
Yeah, for
Oh,
how long
for
it
that
takes.
duration.
Yeah, how long it takes you.
I thought that was meant to be a GM roll.
It doesn't matter. All right, so it takes you.
It's going to be busy.
It takes you 8 rounds to pick that lock.
Stressful picking lock.
Well, part of it is the fact that this is at torso height for a 13-foot giant.
Mm.
So you're like stretching. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Got it. Way up above your head.
I was about to, for pure comedy's sake, revert to human form and just open the door.
Yeah, no, the thought did cross my mind that it's like, there's a door. That's why I wanted to speak with animals. It's like, can you open a door from the other side? But that means I've got 8 minutes out of 2 rounds at level 14.
Okay.
That's 6 minutes left on my speak with animals.
Okay, so you're able to open that door and get in, and so you can see what Finn saw before.
I assume my detect magic is also worn off. Like an idiot, I cast that.
It takes a turn, right?
Yeah, it's got 2 minutes left. All right. So,
Yeah.
Is there any indication of magic from those chests?
Very strong magic from the helm.
Yeah.
And yes, there is magic on those chests. Go ahead and give me a spellcraft roll.
Do I not get the sphere or anything?
Guardian, I believe.
Yeah. I assume that's a failure.
Yeah, that's a failure on spellcraft.
Yeah. Oh well. I say it's. I'm going to try dispelling it real quickly while my detect magic's still up.
Okay.
For like a round, I'm just doing this like one after another. I'll say, Finn, get out the way. I'm dispelling this.
All right, let me double check to see what
And
level
I'll
that's
slither around to the other side of the helm.
cast at.
Was that only from the chest or from both?
Both of them.
Can I dispel both of them, or would I get myself in that?
The room's probably big enough that you can stand
I
on the
can
opposite
do a
end. It's
general-
kind of T-shaped. The door that you came in, there's a door opposite that in this little like part that sticks out, and then the main bridge area is actually pretty large. Yeah,
roll.
that worked. I should have let you do it, but whatever. Yep. All right. So you do see the your dispel magic indicates that magic is gone on both of those.
I say the magical glyph's gone. I'm just gonna have to hope it's not physically trapped as well. I'm not gonna bother with that. There's times of essence, and I try to pick open the lock.
Which one, the chest or the cabinet?
Chest.
Okay.
Or I indicate to Finn, do you want me to open one of those immediately, and you could just start rummaging through it?
You can open whichever one you want.
Well, no. I mean, if I use my granted power of knock on the cabinet, you can look through the cabinet while I'm search through the chest.
All right,
But you'd obviously have to change back to your humanoid form.
that's fine. We can do that.
All right, then I will use my granted power to knock open whatever one that I can. If either one are equally viable, then I will do the cabinet for him.
Okay. All right. So you
Meanwhile, I
knock
will
open the
change
cabinet.
back
Yeah, and you change back.
and immediately take a sip of my invisibility potion.
Okay. And give me a 1d10 to see how long it takes you to pick that chest.
8 minutes again.
Okay. All right. So while you're picking that lock, Finn opens up the cabinet. It is very big compared to you. And you can see inside there, there is a spear clearly sized for someone more to your size as opposed to a giant. So this would be a much smaller, than a normal spear for one of them.
Would it be basically just a pointy stick for a giant?
Well, I mean,
Toothpick.
that's what a spear is, a pointy stick. But it's 6 feet long.
Yeah, but
Might be like a short spear to them. I don't
Yeah,
know if
it'd
you
be
get
a short
spears in
spear.
AD&D.
It'd be a short spear. They might be able to throw it more easily, something like that. Who knows? But it's clearly designed by people to your size. What race exactly, you can't say. There is also folded down at the bottom a suit of mail.
I just realised I made a slight error, but oh well. I mean, I've done it now, so.
What was it?
My knock is... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. It's outer self and tree that are linked together, because obviously my granted powers are linked.
Oh, okay.
So, change self and knock gone.
And there are some pretty hefty ledgers in here as well. And there's a variety of clubs and things of that nature as well that are sized to giants. So you'd guess
Well, looks
that
like-
there's some like equipment for anyone who's in here to, like, grab and pull out and use.
Yep.
I mean, the less options they have, if we end up fighting them, the better.
And Lafdul, inside of the chest, once you get that open, you can see that there are some sacks of coins. There is a small box of some sort that you'd need to open it up. It's not latched or locked or anything like that. And a slightly larger box as well. And there's something dark. You'd need to shift some of these coins around to see what's under there.
Shifting coins tends to make a lot of noise.
A little bit, yeah, tad.
Obviously, I indicate what I've seen. What's Finn? What are you doing, Finn? Because I can make us silent, but we have to do this fast and get out of jail, bail. As soon as we start bagging this.
We can do that. I'm not doing anything important right now, so.
I'm just looking at my silence. How long that lasts? 2 rounds of level. You got any spells, by the way? I mean, you're a druid.
Anything that would help us right now? Probably not.
Alright. How long, if I were to guesstimate how long it would take me to empty out the majority, or at least the most of the valuable stuff?
How many empty pouches do you have?
Finn would have his backpack on him.
How full is the backpack?
I don't think I keep a whole lot in it, unless we're actually going off camping. Because I wouldn't have my water skins in there.
Makes sense.
1, 2, 3.
It would probably be fairly empty, other than
I said I was
some
going
herbs
light.
and things like that.
I carry most of my stuff in my pouch, and that's the problem.
And Lafdul, you specifically said that you weren't carrying your backpack.
Yeah, I was going light. I've got, I think, either 4 or 5 pouches, so not too much.
Okay.
Don't you have
Pretty
your
sure I
bag
got
of
5.
holding?
Yeah, I've got a pouch of accessibility. I mean, these are just empty pouches. It's probably stuff that I could pour into other pouches as well.
How many empty pouches did you say you had?
At least 5.
All right, so that's what, like, and they can hold 50 pounds, 10 pounds each, right?
10 pounds each. So I can carry 50 pounds without weight, incurring weight.
Okay.
And I've probably got several pouches that are like half empty, so.
Yeah, so you can easily get the 2 little box things that you have not opened into a and I'll say you can easily get those into a pouch that's not completely full, easily.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I've spread them out is just go, for argument's sake, you get into a combat situation like pouch 2. What's in pouch 2? You're fumbling around for something.
Yeah.
That's why I've spread everything out.
It is definitely a lot of coins, though. That's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure that you could get all of it, even into the Now you could take them and carry them if you cast silence on yourselves. That might make it a little bit easier.
How heavy is this chest, and is it attached to the ground?
Yeah, it's attached to the ground. So is a cabinet, and they're big. Because you're definitely looking at thousands of coins here.
Hmm. I'm just looking at my spells.
Well, how much could be fit in my backpack?
If it's completely empty, 50 pounds.
And that's weight. Roll weight for you.
Yeah, but I was thinking I'm going to change my form when we leave anyway.
Here's the thing. I've got a small cake of smoke powder.
I mean, if you want to blow something up too, you could definitely do that, or you could just
There's
leave
a
this.
chance you could either do this silently, or you could just leave it. Try to take out the helm. It's an artifact that's unlikely, to be honest, but...
Do you have a glyph of warding memorized?
Not memorized, no.
Okay. Do you have a
Yeah,
scroll?
thought... Nope.
Okay.
That's never on the scroll, almost.
I mean, it's not bad a spell to be on a scroll.
And if you're ever in a situation where you're like, something's chasing you, and you've got you can hole up in a room and get in the room, you could put a glyph of warding there for when the creatures first come in there. But it's neither here nor there, because I was thinking you could leave this inside the chest, glyph of warding it with a fire.
Yeah, no, that'll be hilarious. No, I didn't think that I would be trapping the chest afterwards.
Understandable.
I got vials of metal-eating acid.
Okay.
How much? It's a stuff you. It's like the 50 gold stuff. The Black Dragon's Breath files.
Okay.
Lafdul's gonna eat the money.
No, I could take the
What do you want?
majority of it and melt the rest.
You need to tell me what you want to do with it. You want to destroy some of the coinage that you can't take with you?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I think this is heresy for Lafdul. You know this.
You'll have to atone afterwards.
So you
Hang
can see
on.
that in the sacks. There's one that's full of, or at least appears to be full of copper coins. One that appears to be full of silver coins. One that appears to be full of gold coins. So.
Obviously, we'll take all the valuable ones, as many as we can. Once we start doing this, I have to cast a silence, so... Because obviously, clink, clink, clink.
Yeah. So put up silence and then get going, and then begin taking it?
And try and give us hope. We've got a couple of minutes left on the silence to get out.
Okay. So before that, do you want to try to quietly shift one of the coin sacks and see what's underneath it, or do you want to just grab it after you grab the coins?
You got any indication, Finn?
Nothing.
I mean, I'm pretty good at moving stuff silently. I'll try and move it silently.
Okay. Give me just a second. All right. Okay. They do clink, but you're being careful to, like...
Reduce the amount of noise
Yeah.
it makes.
Yeah. And it looks like what's below there is a large book made with Nightskaver leather covers.
Spellbook.
Get the book.
You're just seeing like the corners of it. So
Yeah, obviously, Lafdul's going to try and... Hang on. Before I say I'm trying to get the book, what's stopping me from getting the book? Can you describe it?
the sacks of coins are sitting on top of it.
Can I just pick up the sacks of coins?
I mean, once you if you cast a silence and you start loading up the coins, then the last thing that you do is grab the book and then put the acid in if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Essentially, it's to cripple them as much as I can, basically, take their money.
Okay. All right, so looks like you could get all of the the entire sack of gold coins into Finn's backpack. with space to spare.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is after you've cast Silence, right?
Silence, and we're indicating this
Okay.
point.
All right. So
Container.
then you scoop up as many of the silver coins into his backpack to fill it up, and close it tightly, and then you fill up your pouches with silver coins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You could
There's no platinum.
probably get some more copper in there, but that's going to be more time.
I'm not too fussed about the copper.
Okay. All right.
Considering that hobgoblin had gold on them, they've probably been paid in gold.
Okay. And you can grab the book. You've already grabbed the 2 little boxes.
Yeah. Was there anything else in there that might have been of interest? Were you able to grab anything out in the cupboards, Finn?
There's some minor, like, there's
like potions or scrolls or
nothing that appears particularly valuable. There's like vials of ink and stuff that you might just want to have around in a room like this, secured, but nothing particularly valuable.
All right.
Did you want to try grabbing the spear and the mail from the cabinet, or are you going to leave those?
I think we'll just leave those.
Okay.
We're
what's the
carrying
mail?
enough right now.
Yeah, we are. We can always get it later once we actually fight them.
Okay.
Unless they sell the armor. This is mainly to deprive them of a crew.
All right, and then you wanted to pour the acid in there?
Yeah, 2 vials of black dragon breath.
Okay.
Acid.
Try and
Um,
close it,
Vials.
and then close it up and lock it again.
Yeah, because that's going to start melting and sissing like anything.
okay, the problem with locking is that you got to do another lockpick.
No, I'm not locking it. I'm just closing it.
Okay. All right,
I mean,
so
the acid's gonna...
you just like kind of, do you want to just toss the vials in, or are you going to actually pour them? Like, if you toss them in, they'll shatter and splatter everywhere inside there.
I mean, it's silent, so I don't want it getting acid on me.
It's a big enough thing that it's probably not really.
All right, then. Yeah, I don't care about the vials. I'm just doing maximum effect as quickly as I can.
Okay. So you kind of like peel the opening of the bag back and toss the vials in so they shatter and start melting the copper. Quickly close the lid and get out as quickly as you can.
Yeah, while the silence is up, I'm going to use my great powers to reduce and then alter myself into Whisper, and I say, meet back at the ship.
Okay.
All right.
And
Finn is going to change form into a monkey.
All right.
To get out of the ship.
All right. Can I make one suggestion?
Mm-hmm. You might want to do flying.
Bat?
I'm gonna. Well, yeah, that's true.
You just
I'll
fly
become a bat.
straight out.
Okay.
Invisible bat.
Well, plus, bats are pretty common around here.
Mm-hmm.
You might not think otherwise of it.
All right, so you're still invisible as well, although you're not sure how much longer that invisibility is going to last, Finn. So you
Should
both
be enough to get you out.
And you're both flying up through the hatches.
Yeah. I was hoping I had like at least a couple of minutes left on the silence. But
Okay. Yeah, you definitely
I don't
do.
know.
You definitely do, and you are able to get back to the ship. And so you pull out what once you're back to the ship, you're not making any stops or anything along the way, right?
No, I'm going straight there.
Yeah.
I don't know how long my health self will last. So.
All right, so you make a beeline there, and you do get back in time. And I think what that is going to be, you'll with your other crew members, or with your other party members, you can count out the money. You got 1,314 silver pieces.
Hang on, because Lev's normally here. She normally does it, unless you're able to do it, Finn.
Yeah, I just got to get in there first.
Okay. And here, let me give you the 2 items that I'll be sending you the descriptions of afterwards. So you open up those the little boxes that you got, and there was a thin silver braided ring, suitable for human hobgoblin goblin hands as opposed to giant hands, and a golden necklace with a dozen small pearls, again suitable for a normal
Small
humanoid
pearls?
size.
That sounds like prayer beads. Guess.
Do you have another detect magic?
No.
I have detect magic.
Okay. So with detect magic, neither of those show up as magical.
Yeah. Oh,
Does the book show up as magical?
No.
Okay.
All right, so coins.
All right, coins. 1,314 silver pieces.
Okay.
And 1,988 gold pieces.
Okay.
And Lafdul, when this is divided, this amount
Mhm.
specifically, whatever you get out of this cut,
You'll get as XP.
yeah, you get that as XP for
For a
your
thief.
thief.
The gold amount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So remember to convert the silver to gold.
Now that large book, it's a bit larger than it would be for one of you guys, so it's big and heavy. Pages are thick parchment pages, from what you can tell. It has nothing on the cover.
Oh,
just-
well, something I forgot to do
it's
was
just
leave
black.
evidence. Damn it. There's always something on a heist you always forget to do. I was meant to leave that thing. Oh, well.
You
It's,
had
that's-
talked about it. You had talked about it. So if you want to leave that, I'm okay with that. I'm okay saying that you did.
All right, then, yeah, I left that as, like, evidence. I like, put it in, like, a corner or something, so when they search the room, they might find who
Okay.
owns it.
Are you implicating the guy we met in the pub?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That means I need a new holy symbol, but I'm sure I could just use a gold coin I got from the chest as a new one.
Yep, that's fine.
Or the book. Make him use the book as a holy symbol.
Ideally, something that's practical. I mean, if
It's quite a large book, so it would be unwieldy holy symbol.
That's
it's
why
like Lafdul gets searched for a holy symbol. He's a priest. He's got something that's a holy symbol. It's not that helmet. Priests don't use their helmets as a holy symbol.
So if they're back, can Braxon use the ring to try and read any words on the book?
You'd have to open it up and look at it. There's nothing on the cover.
Okay.
Does that actually work on written languages if it's not being spoken?
Braxon has to be near someone that can read. I believe.
Read the language in question.
Yeah.
It just means you got to. Alright.
Oh, did we bring down that lady?
Well,
Margoth?
we've
I
also.
think we did.
Yeah,
I think we did.
Margoth is down with you.
Yeah.
She went. She was. I mean, she didn't obviously participate in that heist, and she didn't participate in going to the pub. She would have gone back with Leva. But yeah, she'd be available if you wanted to.
She might happen to know the language. Who knows?
I can't
We
remember.
got-
Does Power the Ring work through the walls? Or does Braxton have to see her?
No, you basically do have to see her. She has to be in the same room.
Okay.
So you want
Alright.
to try to do that and look at the book?
Braxton will say to the others, do you want me to try and read the book?
You can try. Yeah, I mean, if
Margoth can look also the book.
That's true.
You're not volunteering the NPCs for guinea pig stuff.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it wasn't magical book.
Yeah.
All right, ink. It's not magical. Okay. Well,
some books can.
It could still have a trap on it.
So
No, we've
you're
had
going to take a look,
tomes.
Braxton?
Yeah. How
I mean,
far
I can take a look if you want.
can you read books in any language?
Uh,
No,
I
but
can-
touching it, you usually get indication of good or bad if it's like something that's
yeah,
really good or bad.
I could like look it over with like detective intent to see if there's like anything like that on it, or I could just skim through the book, and if there's like an exploding river or something, that'll probably still trigger.
I was thinking I would try and stay as far away from Margoth as possible, so that if the book explodes or anything, it only affects Braxon.
It would have to be pretty sophisticated magic to hide the fact that it was magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
These giants don't have.
might also be
I
a
would-
physical trap in there. What's what? Let's see. We want to be downstairs. We've got the hold. Let's go in the hold, and Braxton will go the opposite end of the hold from Margoth.
All right.
I mean, if the book's not magical, we just have to assume it's not trapped.
Yeah,
Until
no,
we
I know.
encounter until that situation ever comes up, we always assume.
Yeah, Braxton will ask everyone to stay as far away from him as possible,
So
and he'll
you're doing it.
crack the book open and see if he can read anything.
All right, give me a
And
saving
then
throw
once-
versus spell, please.
This is why I thought I should do it.
Was it general to spell, not to spell?
Oh.
Of
Oh,
all the rolls.
this is beautiful. All right, so you open it and
I can't use my hands either.
the words are the word, like you can clearly make out what is written here, but you very quickly realize that what it is describing is horrors beyond your wildest dreams, and you give out a scream,
no.
clutch at your temples, and just close your eyes at the images that this is shown you. The book falls, like you stand up screaming, clutching your head, book falls to the floor, and you are just screaming. You're not in pain. You are insane, though.
Oh, insane!
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. Solas has got a staff to fix the insanity.
Yeah, I think this is time to use it.
So, no change there.
No.
I guess until he's fixed, I step up as captain.
So you are
mean,
you're just screaming at these horror, like the rest of you just hear him like gibbering away almost nonsense about like you're not even sure exactly what he's saying. The words are strung together so tightly you don't know what he's describing, but every once in a while you'll be able to pick out a word, and it just sends a shiver down your spine. Hearing these things.
I use my staff to cure the
before
insanity.
Braxon-
Use
Braxon
healing
screams.
and spellcraft on it.
Braxton screams out, in the future, illithids are going to replace trees with plastic, and it's going to take over the universe,
What's this plastic?
fill
what is
up our
this plastic?
seas.
What is this plastic?
He
It's
doesn't-
You're
silver
going to use the staff?
Yeah,
All right.
Do we know that there's insanity?
I would.
Yeah,
I
it's
would.
gibbering madness, but you know.
Yeah, I would
give it a shot.
make. I would make an estimation that it's madness.
That's like, Braxon, it's for your own good. Whack.
Mm-hmm.
So, Braxon is starting to try and climb out of here. It takes the rest of you like grabbing him and holding him down while Solas intones the command word and touches the tip of the staff to his head.
Time for
Braxon,
some percussion therapy.
the images fade and they're gone from your mind. Thankfully, like you can't remember what you saw. You can't remember what any of the details, but you can remember how you felt, and that is a traumatic
Horrifying.
experience to you.
Braxton says, I think you should get rid of that book.
No, I need
the
to
magic
study it.
might be gone now. It's spent it on you, probably. But
After
we
what
should-
it did to him, no one is reading that book.
I'm casting
said that-
dispel
no,
magic on the book.
Wait. Don't touch the book until tomorrow. We'll use tech traps. We'll analyze
I'm
it. We'll
casting
study
dispel
it.
magic on the book.
Okay.
There's no guarantee that'll work because you need detect magic to know if it's gone, and you
Give me
couldn't
a-
even register
I mean, it
on
didn't.
detect magic.
He did cast detect magic earlier, and it didn't detect its
Yeah,
magical.
so you would have to identify it. but that means handling it. Can you identify it without reading it?
I mean, you picked it up, Lafdul.
Yeah, it was the moment he read the book he went insane.
Yeah. You didn't have a problem carrying it.
Oh, is it the moment he touched it?
Oh, is it
No,
that I
he
always
started
roll
reading
so
it.
badly for Dispel Magic?
I mean, you don't know whether that worked or not, so...
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab a belt and I'm going to wrap it around the book and
Wait.
tighten it so that it doesn't accidentally open. And then I'm going to go and put it in Lafdul's lockbox, and it's staying there for further notice.
I mean, the safer place would be just to put it in a bag of holding of some description. It's in another material plane. Set effectively.
Yes, but if it's in lockbox along with like the deck of cards and stuff, there's a higher chance, or in the black box or whatever it's called, the thing where we put evil shit that we don't want to touch anymore. That's gonna be safe for everybody.
The dead box also prevents divination attempts on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As it's cut off from magic, or whatever.
Now, keep in mind that the dead box is back on your main ship. You're in the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got.
That's why for now I'm shutting this thing and tightening a belt around it so that nobody can accidentally open it and go through what Braxon did.
Well, no, none of us
That's just
do that.
paranoid.
Hang on, we've got the evil playing cards in the dead box. Do you want to put both the
Well,
evil?
it's back on the ship anyway. It's back on the ship anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I know.
It's safer
nature
than
of a case.
where anybody can touch it, especially when we have a book fanatic like Solas there who might try to read it and end up like you.
I'm not going to read it without taking precautions.
And all of the casters be here to support each other and dispel each other.
Yeah.
I still
When-
think it's safer to leave it secured.
I mean, well,
It's
secure.
secured within our possession.
Yeah, we have a belt around it so so that it doesn't accidentally open.
What are you going to do with your lack of a belt now?
Don't you know that
will be fine.
don't you know that Ockar carries and wears multiple belts?
Does he? He's weird.
No,
Oh,
Yes,
it might
I'm-
be that time when I cast knock on his pants, made his pants fall down, so he's being extra secure by having multiple belts.
yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
I mean,
Basically, he has
if Ockar wants to keep control of that for now, it's...
Yeah, I'm
is,
gonna.
is anyone objecting
don't
to that?
destroy
control
it,
over it. I'm keeping control over it, and once we figure out what this thing is,
Yeah.
then we'll figure out what to do with it. But I'm not letting it out of my sight after what I just saw it do to our captain.
It's just like any other trapped book. No
I
need to
would
go
say-
We
paranoid
have
of it.
a bad history with trapped books.
I know, right?
Every almost all these magical books tend to
Hang on.
tend to mess us up
Okay.
in some way.
Okay. I read one book that broke Lafdul. I read another book that made Lafdul better again.
Books are evil.
Oh,
Solas
hang on, that's heresy.
glares at Ockar with a really offended look on his face.
90% of the magic books we've come across have done evil stuff to us.
Lafdul's just
they
bursting out in
haven't.
laughter on the floor at this point. He's just crying.
To be fair, that's partly because you guys failed to carry out a genuinely beneficial book from one place.
Yeah. I mean,
Just casually
It was
missing
a-
a manual of bodily health. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean,
And if Ockar doesn't want to peruse the next manual of bodily health that you find, that's fine too.
Joel stole is it the strength one or the bodily health? I can't remember.
I mean, I may have ended up saying that she stole it since it you guys completely
'cause,
forgot
we
that
lost
you.
No.
Tony.
You specifically said that he stole it from us.
I
Yeah,
think
that
that was
was
a
one of the
semi-retcon
He
because
stole
you
the
guys
book
had
and he stole the ring. You
completely
said that.
completely
We
forgotten
didn't
that.
forget about it. We
No,
were waiting
she
until we
took
got back to the ship.
that book.
No,
Yeah,
no,
she-
no.
Took the book, she
stole
took
it.
the ring, she took the armor, she took the my nectar. She took my.
There was a book.
The plan was to wait on the book until we got back
she
to the
also
ship,
took
and
the
then she
book.
stole it.
No.
Yeah.
No. You
Go back
guys.
to the recording. You'll hear they used that she took the book, but we were planning on using it later.
All right, it's here. No.
I mean,
anyway.
you may have been planning to use that book later, but it had been sitting around for an adventure, so.
No, not an adventure. We had got it on the same adventure it was stolen on.
Okay, then I'm thinking of a different book.
Yes, you are.
We got a book from the Green Dragon that she took.
Okay, there was a book earlier. It's neither here nor there at this point.
Oh.
Or at least I think it was from the Green Dragon. It was a crown base, wasn't it?
I don't remember everything. There was a book earlier. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's in the past. So
this book's the important one.
I mean, you just might have read the book of like evil deeds or something. You just got to be an evil.
It was a book showing how carpentry will disappear from the universe.
Well, I suppose that could have been a lot worse than just insanity.
It's probably a book with puns so bad.
Puns
even Braxon's mind broke.
Even Braxon's mind broke.
Well, the next day I would say to Ockar that it does need to be kept in an extra dimensional space. So either me or Lever has to hold on to it. Probably Lever, because I don't think it fit in mine.
Did the book have any metal parts on it?
Do you want to chance that?
Yeah, there was some metal. Just like some extra reinforcement in the cover.
Okay, then it doesn't go into my bag.
Yeah, it has to go in Lever's bag because she's the only one that can hold the big thing.
If she's willing to carry it, then sure.
Well, yeah, because if
she's not here right now, so don't assume that she would be.
Yeah.
Solas can hold the book until Leva can put it in her bag.
Yeah, but if they've got,
it'll fit in one of Lafdul's pouches.
If we know the book's bad, can't we just put it in a fire?
No. My fear was basically because they've obviously warded where it was camped, and they used magic, so they're capable of using magic to ward stuff. They're just as equally capable of finding the book if it's not kept in this. If it's local, that's why I want to put it in another dimension.
Then you might want to put those other items we found into the.
Or at least for a while, anyway.
Oh, hang on. If you want to implement people in the crime, why don't you put the book somewhere else?
We might want to really keep that book and study it once we can safely do that.
If the book is safe to read, then yes. Yeah.
But you could.
I mean, Lafdul did pick up a few other items like those beads.
Yeah, they were not magical, but that doesn't mean they're not actually magical. They just might be hidden.
And and we can also use those instead of the book to implicate someone. The book is quite large.
Yeah. But when Braxon went to look for a cone shop, would he have found any bookshops?
No.
Okay.
And I think that you would have been able to get 3 cones for Solas.
Okay.
Oh, we got the shares already done out by Finn.
Yeah. So how much would the cones cost Solas?
He said it in the message. Just go in and look.
Okay. Yeah.
7 gold pieces per cone.
Yep. So they were standard prices.
Alright, so...
And they were very small ones.
If every magic book ends up evil or doing horrible things like this to us, Ockar might just have to burn every magic book we come across.
I can guarantee they won't. I mean, there's always a chance that I roll something else. But
also
I get what I roll, too.
If you started doing that, you would make Solas your enemy very fast.
Also, let me point out.
Oh,
also point out the Book of Infinite Spells that Leva has. That's not a bad spell. That's not a bad magic book.
That's true.
Also, the numerous spell books that we have found.
Yeah, and Lafdul read a book that increased his wisdom, so...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the party found.
Make sure you've got that noted down because you can never use one of those books again.
No, the plus wisdom books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the wisdom one, though?
Yeah, just the wisdom one. You
All
can
right,
only benefit
that's how
from.
much...
You can only get one stat gain from any of those books, ever.
Per stat type.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even if you get even if you lose that point again in some way,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
That's how much gold I got. And that's with the plus 10%. So that's how much XP I'm adding.
Alright.
Obviously, I'm not doing the fractions. So that's just 193.
That's fine. It's up to you.
You've got over 200 gold pieces by stealing this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I want alone, there's no thing that would make me share this with the party.
Well, you also wouldn't have been able to carry it all.
No, so.
But specifically because you stole this money,
Yeah.
that's why you're gaining the XP. You use your thief skills to get into it.
I'll probably get XP for the thief skills afterwards.
Indeed, you will. All right, so we're closing in on the end of the session. It seems like you've done a fair bit. Do you want to advance to the next day? I mean, or like plan to, so you can start discussing what you want to do on that day?
I don't know if we should advance to the next day, because there might be things that we might try on the items or books, observations throughout the menagerie and stuff. Because obviously that's going to cause a scene now.
Well, it's going to cause a scene when they notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know when they will notice. That's the problem.
Yeah, they won't notice until they want some money.
Yeah, and there's also an indication that we need to start spreading the rumors pretty fast.
Oh, hang on. They'll put money away when they finish serving customers, won't they?
Maybe. I mean, you don't know exactly how they operate.
Yeah.
For all I know, that book could have caused the gold to melt.
For all you know, that money was like from the last week, and they don't add more to it, or maybe that was the captain's cut or something like that. Who knows?
That's true.
It wasn't a lot of money, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good amount. It was a pretty good amount.
Yeah, but considering how much that hobgoblin had.
But you also don't know whether he's done anything else for it, whether he won it at some dice. He did have dice on him.
Yeah, that's true.
And also we don't know if how... I mean, it could be that they are currently going on very tight profit margins.
I mean, this could be the owner's profit. Maybe when they get their cut at the end of the day, they immediately pay out everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be happening. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be an immediate reaction. There might be, though. There might be.
Mm-hmm. Would we want to keep a lookout on it?
I mean, to a certain extent, that might be a little bit difficult. I mean, unless you wanted to go back at the end of the day. I mean, keep in mind, Lafdul and Finn were probably there for 2 hours. No, more than 2 hours. 3 hours. So they're going to be winding down very soon if they haven't already.
Are there any...
Hold on, Braxon? Yeah?
Are there any tall public buildings?
None particularly tall, no.
Okay. So go on.
Yes,
go
Solas?
How big is this settlement?
It's a town.
Population-wise.
It's a town. You don't really know the population. Few hundred giants, and a couple more times that in smaller creatures.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though, it's nice to rob other people rather than being the ones robbed ourselves. Even if
I
it
mean,
is
to
a
be honest, I'm
tiny bit.
surprised you don't rob people or pickpockets more often.
It depends whether I'm alone or not. If I'm alone, I might do it more often, but if I'm with the party, I don't want to drag them into.
I mean, pickpocketing drunks would be quite easy.
Yeah, but we don't know when he does and when he doesn't because we don't know he does it.
Yeah, that's also what I'm trying to.
So we can't be surprised at his frequency of pickpocketing. For all we know, he might pickpocket people's pockets occasionally and put money in them, just for a laugh.
And the other thing about the the owner might try to hide the fact that this has happened and try to do some stuff on his own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of different things going on, so you may not necessarily know what happens. Something should happen eventually, because something,
Yeah, that's true. He might assume that the people who've done it are working for him and try and figure out who they are.
So any other things that you guys want to do?
We should try and line that hobgoblin with a load of money, even though I've robbed a load of money off of him. Because at least that way it looks like he's got a load of money that he stole off the group.
I mean, if you want to go out and try to find him again.
I mean, they could have accomplished that they've shipped the money off.
Yeah.
Do you want to... I mean, like, that could be next session, is you going off and trying to find this hobgoblin.
That's something to think about, yeah, but I'm not obviously doing it now.
Okay. Well, then, let's go ahead and call the session here.
Mm-hmm.
We will not be playing next week, because next week is Christmas Day. I might do a separate stream of something else. But for obvious reasons, some people have family things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, as of right now, we will probably be playing on New Year's Day, but that may change, so you guys are aware, so that the viewers are aware. We'll play it by ear, but right now, no one has confirmed that they won't be able to make it, so. Alright. That is going to be XP-wise. Alright, Braxon, Ockar, Leva, and Solas, 2,500 XP. Finn and Lafdul, 5,000 XP.
Wow.
Well, they did pretty much just do everything.
And Lafdul an extra 400 XP for your thief.
Woohoo.
I'm impressed to get 2,500.
There's going to be a
Yeah,
point. There's going to be a point when Lafdul's thief is like 4 or 5 levels above.
Yeah, my thief's almost 3 levels above. Almost, really close.
Oh,
it's
that's
like
great.
a few thousand off.
That's great.
Level 11.
And let's see. Yeah. All right. Actually, Lafdul and Finn, both of you would get an extra 100 XP for good uses of your granted powers.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
That means that Lafdul's only, what, how much off?
Probably
Slightly closer than it was before, but not by much.
Yeah, it takes me a little while to calculate.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal anyway. So I want to thank you guys for playing this week, and we will be back not next week, probably the week after, on New Year's Day for more. We'll see what the party plans for that. But I want to
Pulled
thank
off a
everyone out there
heist.
for watching. Lots of gift subs given out. I got a couple raids. Really do appreciate that. Thank you guys very much for all the support the viewers have been showing us. I really do appreciate it. And we'll be back next time. See you then, everyone.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the
having
game.
us.
For the game. Take care, everyone.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
See ya.
happy holidays.
Happy
and,
holidays.
see you next time.